Hi there, book friends. I am here all alone by myself, but today we are going to film a 5-star predictions video because I want to see if I'm right and if I know what kind of books I like at all, which is, you know, always questionable because I have so many I haven't read that maybe I just actually don't know. Today I'm going to tell you about books I think are going to be 5 stars. How much I know about each book really varies, and how well I will be at describing each book really varies. So I'm sorry about that. But at least I have tea and my Slytherin mug. So the first book that I have for this is a spoiler for my first Reading Rush vlog. So if you haven't watched it, otherwise this will totally ruin the second day challenge, and I wouldn't want to ruin the second day challenge for you. You should just go and watch it, you know? Just go and watch it. So, first 5-star prediction I have is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. This is part of the Dark Artifices series. She is a thick mama, a sexy mama. This is a very pretty book cover. Okay. Like, Lady Midnight and Queen of Air and Darkness are possibly some of the prettiest books I've ever seen. Lord of Shadows, meh. But this one, definitely. So I think this is going to be 5 stars because the other 2 books in this series have been 5 stars. It is my new favourite Shadowhunters series. The series follows a girl called Des as she tries to, it starts out with her trying to find out what happens to her parents. Kind of from there, but I love these books. Emma is such a Slytherin. Like, I'm just gonna pose this book with the Slytherin mug. That's how much of a Slytherin that she is. And it's so much darker than other Cassie Clare series, and I appreciate that so much. I think that Cassie's writing style has like evolved because now I genuinely never have to wonder whose perspective I'm supposed to be going from, because it's just so well adapted to the characters and it's seamless. It's not jarring when she changes perspectives. So yes, I definitely think that this is going to be a 5-star. I think it's going to wreck me emotionally, and I am not prepared for that, but I will have to be prepared for it. I don't know when I'm going to read this because she is such a thick mama, but I do have the audiobook, which is narrated by James Masters, who plays Spike from Buffy, and I cannot believe that that is a thing, even though I listened to the Lord of Shadows audiobook while reading it. So I know that he does that, but like, oh my god, he does that. I get to listen to the person who's Spike tell me about Shadowhunters. That is a collision of fandoms that I still to this day cannot deal with at all. Dead kills me. The next book that I think will be 5 stars is going to be Jack Glass, which is, out of all these books, is joint most recent purchase. But this is the most beautiful book cover that I have ever seen. Just look at this. Wow! So this is a sci-fi thriller mystery. Basically, there's this guy called Jack Glass, and he killed someone, and we know who he killed, and we just don't know why he did it or how he did it. And it follows him trying to escape this intergalactic prison. Yes, this is sci-fi. The rocket ship was not a facade, and I just cannot wait. I don't know that much about it, but that's how I would want to go into like a mystery thriller kind of thing. Don't really want to know about this, so I guess this is adult sci-fi mystery thriller. It's written by Adam Roberts, and I genuinely am so excited for this. Next we have, hyped by BookTube, Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. We're not gonna venture too hard into that. This is, everyone on BookTube knows what this book is. Like, all the BookTubers went mental over it. I have a really pretty sprayed pages edition of this book. I know it is YA fantasy that takes place in an Africa-inspired fantasy world. I know it has to do with magic and people killing off or repressing tribal magic, and I am very excited. I actually have to show you the bookmark that I have for this book when I read it, because it is so perfect. It matches these so well. It would only be better if I had a red one, but I don't have a red one. But yeah, I love YA fantasy and I really want to read more diverse books. Apparently this is amazing. The next book that I think I will give 5 stars is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Again, I am not great at pronouncing things, so I will just sound out the letters of their last name and I'm never gonna get it right. One day maybe I will pronounce an author's surname right and I will give myself an award for it or something. So this is basically following a teenager who sees himself as being like a wallflower, as like an outcast. I know that there's references to Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I love. I love the film, but I've also seen it live and both are great. So yes, even though I hate musicals, I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So that really tells you the power of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you're a weirdo like me, you will love it. This is like a modern classic. Everyone kind of knows a bit about the Perks of Being a Wallflower. There was a film of it that I haven't seen because I want to read the book first, but I cannot wait. I think I will love it, and then I will watch the film and I hope that I will love that too. The next book is an adult thriller. Ugh. I know very little about this book despite the fact that it has films and I have had it for a while. In fact, I own the other 2 in the original trilogy. I know that there's a girl and she stumbles upon some corrupt stuff and there's turmoil from then and people are trying to kill her or capture her or whatever, but I don't actually really know what this book is about, but I kind of like it that way. I like not knowing. I know that these books are very critically acclaimed and so are the films. I'm really, really excited for this book. I have no clue when I will read it. It's relatively thick and the print is pretty small, but I have matching covers, which is actually a miracle considering I bought all of these secondhand. Next is another one of the books I got last time that I bought any, so it's secondhand. I went to charity shops around my area and it's given me an idea of a series. Watch out. This is The Lovely Bones, which is also a film. A lot of these books are film or have adaptations. In fact, 4 of them have adaptations. Interesting. Anyway, so this is an adult, I wouldn't say dark contemporary. I don't know how you would really describe this book genre wise. I'm just going to go adult fiction. There are serious trigger/content warnings for this. I mean, it follows a girl who was abducted and murdered when she was 14. I don't know whether there's any sexual abuse that goes on in that storyline. It doesn't mention it on the blurb, but there might be. So if you're sensitive to that, I wouldn't read this. Basically, it's told from the perspective of a 14-year-old girl who is in purgatory. We also see her family and murderer and see if they figure out who did it and arrest them, I'm pretty sure. Or at least that's kind of what happens in the film. I have seen the film of this. I don't really remember it. I wasn't really supposed to be watching it, and I don't think I saw all of it. So I am very excited for this. I know it's dark and it's going to hurt me in the feels and make me very sad, but I like a sad book. I like punishing myself. I like hurting myself with books. Only with books. But still, this is how you do a 4, Jacob. Next, I have like 2 books from the same author. So this is Clean by Juno Dawson. It's a very shiny book. It's like completely shiny all the way. We hardcore stan a shiny queen. So this is a contemporary novel set in Britain about a girl who is a bit of a socialite, kind of like, you know, and she's a mess, and basically it's about her going to rehab. Her name is Lexi. Starts when she like overdoses and then is sent to rehab. So she's like your average like hardcore party girl. I went to a book talk about this at Hay Festival where Juno Dawson was. Juno Dawson also wrote my favourite non-fiction book ever, which is called This Book Is Gay, and I absolutely adore her. She writes Buffy references, and in fact we talked about Buffy when I got this book signed. This is the only book that I have had signed. I don't think in the UK we have that many book signings as general and like book tours and stuff. They're not as big of a thing, as well as most of our books are paperbacks instead of hardbacks. Because I watch all these American YouTubers and they have like all of these like beautiful hardcover books, and I'm like, I couldn't even buy a hardcover copy of The Mortal Instruments in the UK, like just from a bookshop. Like, it's not a thing. It's like we do have hardcovers, but it's not a big thing here, which I'm sad about because I love hardcovers. And I also love paperbacks. Next book that we have is another Juno Dawson book, and this is Meat Market. It is also sparkly. I don't know if you can see, but yeah. Juno Dawson goes hard with the sparkles, and I appreciate it. We are the same kind of people, obviously. Basically, this is another YA contemporary, slightly darker. These 2 books are set in the same world. Lexi and Jana are related because they have the same last name. This is about Jana, and she wants to be a model. That's why it's called Meat Market, I'm guessing. I don't know if you can really see what it's called there, but yes. I know that it is about her kind of journey through the modelling industry, and I know that it gets a little gritty. I don't know if there's any content warnings for this, but I could see there being. I mean, as well as this, there would obviously be content warnings for addiction and drug use and overdose. This, I don't know whether if there is any weird sexual stuff, but there might be. It won't be that hardcore because it is a young adult book, but like it could be there, and I'm not sure that it isn't, but I do genuinely think that I will give it 5 stars because I just love Juno Dawson so much. This is a really obscure book that I've never heard anyone talk about, and that might be because it's a translated novel. It's called Marina, and it's by Carlos Ruiz Zafron. Saffron. That, I'm pretty sure that's a pen name. I'm not 100% on it though. And this is a gothic tale. It says for all ages, so I don't know what kind of, I think it's just kind of like, there's nothing too bad in it, so it could pass for anything, but I don't really remember what this book is about because I've had it for years. Like, literally it's been sitting on my shelf for like 4 years. Oh, it's set in 1980s Spain, and it follows a 15-year-old boy called Oscar, and he basically disappears from his boarding school, and he meets this girl called Marina, and they go into the city's labyrinth, but I really don't know that much about this book, and I kind of wanted to be surprised. And you think that, because I think that this is going to be a 5-star read, I would have read it by now, but no. Like, this is the one that I'm the most unsure about it actually turning out to be 5 stars, but like, I'm just an optimistic girl. Like, I love a gothic novel, so let's just see, shall we? Yeah. Okay, number 10, and the final book in this video, is going to be Good Omens. I have put this in this pile a bit reluctantly because I know I love Neil Gaiman's writing style. I genuinely adore it. I just read Stardust for the Book Junkie Trials and that was a 4-star, only because it was so short and I wanted some development out of stuff, not because of any problems with the writing style or the story itself. But I also know that I have very big problems with Terry Pratchett's, which is a really weird thing, and I'm always lectured by my nan about it. I've only ever managed to read one Terry Pratchett. It's about a cat who has like these mice minions. I don't really remember it. It was a very long time ago. But I know that I really did struggle getting into Terry Pratchett's writing style. Granted, it has been a while since I have read any Terry Pratchett, so maybe I will really like it and enjoy it. It's perfectly possible, but as far as I know, I do have struggle with Terry Pratchett. But I'm hoping that Neil Gaiman will like balance it out. This is basically about the end of the world and an angel and a demon working together to try and find the Antichrist, I think. Again, I don't know that much about this book. I don't really like to know like a lot about books before I go into them, but I know that it is fiction centered around religious ideology and religious texts and like tales and all that kind of stuff, which is something I am so interested in. It's something that I studied for my A-levels. It's something that I am beyond interested in. A lot of my non-fiction shelf is that. So, goodbye my pretties. I'm joking. So those are my 10 5-star predictions. I will make a follow-up video when I've read all of them, but God knows how long that's gonna take me because I am terrible. The first video, subscribe. Always comment on my videos because I'm so happy to chat. Even if you just tell me a random fact, like about the sea, I don't know, anything is cool, unless you're mean, because then I'll just delete your comment. Bye book friends. This is really sad, just do by myself to myself. Oh god, okay.